What's good, Tam Fam? I'm Zach, a country music vocalist and producer. Today, I want to take you through one of the songs I recently produced so that I can show and break down some of the techniques I used for both voice and instruments. Here's a little taste of what the song sounds like.
Yeah, the city life, it's no kind of life for me, yeah. No brick homes, dusty roads, and an open cornfield. Open pastures, lots of views, that'll make your heart heal. So please leave the rush, you don't need the city. You can just stay with me in my country home. In my country home. My country home.
Sweet. So there's a little taste of what the song sounds like, but let's jump right in to the instruments and vocals and break down some of what I did. The instruments for the intro and verse 1 are really laid back. Let me show you. Into the verse with no vocals. Super spread out, super calm, very spacious. So let me skip ahead. Here's what happens during the next verse. Take a listen. Do you see how we're picking up the energy? That's because I started playing more consistent rhythm on the acoustic guitar. I palm muted. This builds us to the next section of the song. Now that we've heard the instruments, let's talk about the vocals. We heard that the instruments are really soft and spacious, so we need to figure out a way to let our voice have that same kind of energy. What you don't want to do is reduce your physical volume. Instead of singing weak, you need to sing gentle. The way to accomplish this is by using your normal tone and then seeing if you can add some breathiness on top of it without getting softer in the room. Here's what that sounds like in verse 1 and verse 1B. I'm going to let it play all the way through. Here we go.
I know you like the view of the city skyline.
Breathy there.
You chase the neon lights, no time to breathe.
Still same volume.
But there's much more to life than always moving. I'd like to show you, so take a chance, you'll see.
Let's kick it up a little bit.
There's a place I think is almost heaven. A slower pace of life will set you free.
It almost sounds like I'm belting on the word pace of life here.
A slower pace of life.
But you can see that the physical volume doesn't go up very much. The way that I'm achieving this is by, instead of walking to the side of the house and turning up the amount of water that's coming through my water hose, I'm just putting my thumb over the top and creating more pressure. So instead of a slower pace of life getting loud in the room, I'm just getting more intense. A slower pace of life. This creates the illusion that I'm getting louder when in actuality, I'm just making my tone sound a little stronger.
I'd like to show you all that's sitting out there.
A little more breathy tone there.
It's a kind of life I think that we both need.
Let's pick it up.
The city life is no kind of life. Yeah, the city life is no kind of life for me. The old brick home.
Okay, so let's talk about this pre-chorus. You can hear that the instruments are building because I'm starting to play more consistent rhythms on the piano. I'm using quarter notes on the piano. You can hear that here. That drives forward the rhythm. In addition, the bass guitar, which we haven't heard many low frequencies for the entire song yet, has just come in for the first time, and spoiler alert, the bass guitar has to sit out the first chorus as well. But it's a great way to drive forward energy by adding different parts of the frequency spectrum to your song. Okay, the other thing I wanted to point out is that my voice sounds really strong here, even though I'm not getting much louder in the room. Instead of the city life, with breathiness, I'm using buzz. The city life. If you want help finding buzz, just see if you can say ah without pushing down, without being loud, while having clear and breathless tone like this. Ah. If you're still having trouble finding it without pushing down, the next thing you can do is kind of sound like Bill Clinton. You know, what's that famous phrase? He said something like, I did not sing a duet with that woman, or whatever the phrase was. I can't really remember it. But anyway, we have specifically really relaxed crackly tone that we can transfer it to clear tone over time once we get the hang of it. Once we do that, we can start putting that into our actual singing, which you'll hear right now.
The city life.
The city life. Instead of the city life, we have it sharper, more intense. The city life. It doesn't sound much louder in the room, but it definitely delivers more tone overall.
There's no kind of life. Yeah, the city life. There's no kind of life for me. Old brick homes.
The next thing you can see is that all of the instruments chilled out again. Instead of building more or releasing some of that tension, we come right back to that really open and spacious tone for the chorus. Why? To support the lyrics. The songwriter did such a great job at painting this beautiful picture. We have old brick homes, dusty roads, and an open cornfield. When I hear those words, I'm actually envisioning that. So if I can find a way to highlight those lyrics, if I can find a way to bring those lyrics to the forefront of the listener's attention, that will allow Mr. Gary, the songwriter, to tell his story even better. Take a listen.
Old brick homes, dusty roads, and an open cornfield. Open pastures, lots of views that'll make your heart heal.
Let's keep it going.
So please leave the rush, you don't need the city. Just stay with me in my country home. In my country home.
More emotion.
My country home.
The only two things I wanted to point out in this section are, one, you can hear that the instruments are much more active by both playing more frequently as well as using instruments that play high and low notes to accompany this main melody. The next section is the verse where we start bringing in some drums. And just because we haven't actually heard drums so far in this song, when we do start playing those drums, they sound big and impactful, even though the pattern I'm playing is really still pretty spacious. Let's go ahead and jump into verse 2.
We can take a drive with the top down. We can walk barefoot and feel the grass.
Also, you can hear that in my voice, I'm starting to use a lot more voice buzz. You can take a drive with the top down. Rather than having it be breathy, you can take a drive with the top down. Just add buzz. You can take a drive with the top down. Additionally, you can hear that I'm using a little bit more country twang or accent. If you want to practice country twang and accent, my best advice is to do it outside of the lyrics. Just talk it like you're reading in a book. You can take a drive with the top down. You can take a drive with the top down. Right? Just talk it first, then sing it. Okay, let's keep moving.
Yeah, there's nothing like the smell of fresh cut hay fields to make you feel alive and free at last. 'Cause the city life,
Yep.
it's no kind of life.
More consistent kick.
Yeah, the city life.
Let's build it up.
It's no kind of life for me. Yeah, old brick homes, dusty roads, and an open cornfield.
This time, you can hear that when we built in the pre-chorus to the chorus, we kept that energy going in the chorus. We made things bigger, more intense. We've even added a harmony part right on top of it. Let me show you what that harmony part sounds like. Instead of old brick homes, I go up 3 notes. Old Then I keep walking. Old brick homes, dusty roads in an open cornfield. Here's what it sounds like in context. Old brick homes, dusty roads and an open cornfield. Open pastures, lots of views that'll make your heart heal. The reason I can sing those harmonies is because I'm really aware of intervals. An interval is the space between two notes. In my Singing Secrets course, I have an entire section devoted towards helping you identify and sing intervals. Why is that important? Because every song that you ever sing will be made up of intervals. So instead of just trying to sing a song better, you can practice your skill of identifying and singing intervals. That way, instead of singing one song better, you sing every song better. But anyway, back to the song.
Please leave the rush, you don't need
Let's
the
keep building it.
city.
We're gonna go all in.
You can just stay with me in my country home. In my country home.
Before we go on too long in this post-chorus, I want to break down some of those background vocals here. I want to sing those parts for you so you can hear the intervals that are being used, and then I'm going to share another secret of how you can start to learn how to harmonize. So I'm going to mute everything except for the background vocals and the guitar so you can clearly hear the harmonies in the song. Here we go.
My country home. My country home.
The reason why I'm showing you the harmonies only with the piano is because that's the second skill that you need. You need to be able to identify intervals and then be able to sing those intervals to sing the right notes. The next step is match my pitch to the chords and follow along with the melody, and that is how you sing a harmony. I have a specific set of exercises within my Singing Secrets course that if you do daily, just for like 2 minutes a day, you'll be able to start identifying these intervals and matching your voice along with the chords so that you can sing harmonies like this. Let me go ahead and turn back on everything else to get that huge texture for this last chorus. As you can hear, all of the instruments are all in, right? We're playing a huge pattern for the piano. We have multiple guitars going. We have an acoustic guitar playing full strumming pattern. We have a steel guitar loop that I recorded, and we have an electric guitar. We have the bass guitar and the kick drum lined up perfectly. So when you put it all in context, it makes everything sound gigantic and big. Here it is.
In my country home. My country home. In my country home. My country home.
Hits coming up. Tag.
In my country home.
I felt like it was a good idea to tag those vocals one more time without any other instruments, specifically to draw attention to those really rich and big harmonies. If you enjoyed this music, check out my good friend Mr. Gary Baldanza's Spotify and YouTube channels. He's an incredible songwriter, and I'm honored to be able to produce for him. If you're interested in one-on-one vocal coaching, my Singing Secrets course, or my full one-stop shop country music producing services, click the links in the description. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Thanks so much, TamFam.